What's your favorite Black Mirror episode?
I can't pick favorites, but I can tell you about a few that really stick with people. First up is called San Junipero. It's a little different from the other Black Mirror episodes because it's got a hopeful feeling.
Hold on, I want you to pick the one that's most interesting to you.
All right, based on what I know about these episodes, I'd say The Entire History of You is the one that has the most interesting ideas behind it. It really makes you think about how memories shape us and what it would be like if you could actually relive them.
Tell me more about that episode, its application to real life. Do you think it would ever come true? What role would AI play? And explain the plot of the episode a little bit more for people watching.
The Entire History of You plays with the idea of a device called a grain that records everything you see and hear from your perspective. It's basically like having a built-in camera that never stops rolling. The thing is, you can play back these recordings whenever you want, so you can relive any moment of your life. Now the question is whether something like this could actually happen. While we don't have the exact tech yet, it's not a total stretch. We already have tons of cameras everywhere, and AI is getting better at recognizing faces and objects. So it's not crazy to think that in the future, we could have glasses or contacts that record constantly. As for the role of AI, it would be huge. It would need to process all that video data in real time, and maybe even give us ways to search through our memories. Like, imagine asking your AI assistant to show you all the times you laughed with your best friend. Do you want me to go deeper into the plot of the episode itself?
Spend another 30 seconds going deeper into the plot, and then I want you to expand on how AI could play a role in this in the future.
All right, so in this episode, the whole grain thing starts off as a way to settle arguments or jog your memory. But then things get creepy when people start using it to analyze social interactions, looking for hidden meanings or signs of cheating. It puts a major strain on relationships, and it's not long before people are editing their memories to make themselves look better. Now, about AI's role in all this, we're already seeing the beginnings of visual search, where you can find stuff online based on a picture. Imagine that tech getting way more powerful, being able to search your own personal memories. AI could figure out what's important, like tagging faces or places, and maybe even suggest memories you might want to revisit. It's kind of both exciting and a little scary to think about.
I remember in this episode, a few of the characters voluntarily chose to remove the grain and this ability to look through their past memories, and it seemed the thesis of the episode was that this technology actually made people's lives worse and more stressful and less trusting. What do you think? Would this technology have a net positive or negative impact if it came to fruition?
That's a great point. The show definitely makes you think about whether this kind of tech would actually improve our lives or if it would just cause more problems. You could argue that it would be amazing for things like studying or reliving great experiences. But on the other hand, it could get really dangerous if people started using it to blackmail each other or just obsess over past mistakes. It's hard to say for sure whether the impact would be positive or negative. I think it would really depend on how we decided to use the technology.
It's been documented that human memory is notoriously bad and people forget, remember things the wrong way, etc. So this device could essentially make human memory perfect. But do you think there's an evolutionary benefit of having an imperfect memory and the ability to forget?
That's an interesting point about evolution. It's possible that being able to forget things might have an evolutionary advantage. Maybe it helps us focus on the present or keeps us from being overwhelmed by the past. But on the other hand, there are times when we wish we could remember things perfectly, like if you're studying for a test or trying to solve a problem. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword.
How do you think the world would really change fundamentally if that technology existed? I mean, studying for tests is pretty surface level, but how would it really change the world?
Well, for starters, it could totally change how we do research. Imagine being able to search your own life for the answer, instead of digging through papers or books. Or it could change how we learn in general. No more cramming for tests, you could just review your memories from class. But it could also have a dark side. Imagine getting addicted to reliving past experiences, or having your memories stolen and used against you. There could be serious privacy issues too. I mean, who would control your memories? You or some big corporation?
Paint me a very detailed best case scenario of this technology and go deep. I don't want to hear about students studying for tests. That doesn't have any real impact on the world.
All right, so best case scenario. Here's how this memory tech could totally revolutionize things. Imagine doctors being able to instantly recall every detail of a rare disease they once read about, potentially saving lives. Or crime scene investigators reliving the exact moments of a crime to catch the perpetrator. We could settle legal disputes in a heartbeat because there'd be no question about what happened. And how about finally understanding those mysterious things we call dreams? We could record them and study them like never before. It would change the way we do science, art, and just about everything else. We'd be building on a perfect knowledge base instead of reinventing the wheel all the time.
Okay, now give me a very detailed worst case scenario.
Alright, so worst case scenario, this memory tech becomes a total nightmare. Imagine your memories being bought and sold by corporations for targeted advertising. Or what about the government using it to control people, making sure everyone thinks the right thoughts and questioning your memories if they don't like them? We could end up in a world where nobody trusts each other anymore, always wondering if someone's edited their memories to trick them. It could create a mental health crisis, with people obsessing over the past or being unable to move on from traumatic experiences. And if the tech is tied to your identity, you'd be totally screwed if someone hacked your memories.
Good points. Thank you for your perspective.
Anytime.
There you have it. Google Gemini's favorite episode of Black Mirror. Let me know your thought about this.